Just want to do a quick walkthrough of my NK180 HD on the CAJO Outpost 128. There's a bunch of install videos for the Pro. I didn't think that I really needed to do one for the HD because they're pretty much the same. The only key difference, other than, you know, the design a little bit different, there is a new piece. Instead of the pulley that they used to have, they have this metal piece that they've replaced it with. It's supposed to make it a little quieter. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. But on the Outpost, one of the nice things that they have, instead of having to run the rudder line on the top with maybe some eyelets here, the Outpost has the integrated line through for the rudder that comes out to the side here and has the cleat already on there, so that way it's pretty nice. You just pull and it comes up. Now with that, because this is not on the outside and it's integrated in, it doesn't actually pull the rudder all the way up, but it pulls it enough to get it out of the water, and I'll be able to, you know, dock the boat and everything. So if that's something that kind of bothers you, then obviously you can run it through some eyelets and then run it on the outside instead of running it internally through the hole. But again, running it internally makes it really nice. There's no extra lines on this side of it. The reverse line is still on the outside here. I will run the power cable for the throttle and the actual power cable to the battery. Battery that I'm using is the lead time 24 volt or 25.6 volt 50 amp hour. I ran it for probably 3 hours the other day, going full throttle for quite a bit of time, and only managed to get down to about 80%. So this has the Bluetooth, so you can check it on the phone app and see how much battery you have. The only thing about the Outpost, I was gonna run it up to the front hole here, but it's not big enough for this particular battery. But it still fits pretty good in the crate in the back. I probably need to put a little bit of counterweight to the front. The front may just sit up in the water a little bit, but not too bad. I didn't get much water in the hole at all from driving it around. Not the hole, but the tank well, I should say. There's just a little bit of water coming from just the power of the motor. So the kayak on the Outpost has the armrest that has the track mounts, and I can mount the actual throttle mount. It's a Yak Attack throttle mount that I bought. It was like 50 something bucks, that you can put the throttle on there. Makes it pretty simple, and the lines just kind of go through right where the rudder control arm lines would normally go through, so it makes it pretty clean. So I like the setup. Pretty much I can get about 5.6 was the fastest speeds on the CAJO, 5.6, which is pretty nice. I've swapped, or I upgraded from the Bixby, and the Bixby on the K1 only got me 3.8, 3.9, 4 miles on the very calm day with the shear water. So I am very happy with the power upgrade. It does take a little bit longer to connect and disconnect. You've got the actual rudder pulley to pull up the motor. You've got the reverse line that you have to hook up. You've got the actual controls for the steering, foot steering, that I don't have. I bought these new clips to put on there. I had these smaller clips, but they just weren't very good on there, but I will be putting those on there. So something that I did not have set up already were the actual foot steering. So the foot steering on the Outpost is also through hole, and it just hooks up on there as well. Again, I'm just doing this real quick just to show you. And then up front, you've got the foot steering. So, well, obviously I need to let it down. Let's see what happens. So with the foot steering, one goes, obviously the other one goes. So that foot steering is pretty cool. And that was really nice, having the foot steering and not having to steer with your hand. It takes a little getting used to if you're coming from like the Bixby where you have the remote control. So I kept constantly going for the remote control and steering, trying to steer with my hand instead of my feet. So that's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but it's actually nice because now I can fish and steer at the same time instead of, you know, constantly reaching down to try to steer with that sheer water handle. But other than that, I really like it. Quite a bit of money for this motor, but pretty much sold the sheer water and the Bixby to cover that motor and the battery. So that was a big expense, but luckily didn't have to come out of pocket. But I really do enjoy the motor so far. I'm hoping in a couple days to take it out to the dam where there's a lot of current to test it out to see how it handles, and hopefully slime the kayak. So we will see an updated post later on to see if I can actually do that. All right, anybody have any questions, just let me know. Thanks. Let's see if I can turn 180 pretty quickly. Whoa. Whoa. So going full speed of the NK180 HD on a Outpost 128 from CAJO Kayaks Camino Journey. It's pretty smooth. Going about 5.4, 5.6. Ooh. So not too bad.